Wall Street heading for a losing week, weighed down by the Fed's hawkish talk on inflation. Fed Chair Jay Powell saying we have a long way to go to get inflation down to the central bank's 2% target. Yahoo Finance's Jennifer Schonberger all over the story all week long, making some headlines along the way. Where do we stand now?
Hey there, Akiko. Yes, what a week it was for Fed speak. Fed Chair Jay Powell reiterating during 2 days of testimony on Capitol Hill that the central bank expects to raise rates 2 more times this year, but will slow down the pace so as to avoid tipping the economy into recession.
The strong majority of the committee believes that it will be appropriate to raise the federal funds rate again once or twice by the end of the year. A strong majority came down on twice between now and the end of the year. So I think the data will tell us what to do.
But when those hikes occur remains unclear. The market's certainly expecting a rate hike in July, but regional Fed presidents this week wouldn't commit to whether they'd favor another hike then. San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly is one of the Fed's members who favors 2 more rate hikes this year. But she told Reuters she wants to move slowly and hasn't made a decision about July yet, saying giving another 6 weeks to make a decision makes sense. Meanwhile, Richmond Fed President Tom Barkin said Thursday he's still, quote, waiting for the haze to clear before deciding whether to hike rates further. He said he's willing to do more if inflation is persistent, but he isn't prejudging what the Fed should do at its July policy meeting. Chicago Fed President Austin Goolsbee said Wednesday he also isn't sure how he'll vote at the July meeting, characterizing the outlook as, quote, foggy, and noting that the next several months will show whether the Fed has done enough to fight inflation or needs to do more. Now, Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic told me in an interview this week that he would favor holding rates at the current level of 5 to 5.25% through the end of this year. When I asked him whether he would vote against a rate hike in July, he had this to say.
Next several weeks, I'll have a much better sense of what we need to do. But again, I do feel like we're in a position now where some patience can do us well. And look, I really want to try to do all I can to make sure that we avoid a significant economic downturn.
Of course, last week, the Fed held rates steady after 10 consecutive rate hikes. Powell reiterated this week that the Fed will make interest rate decisions meeting by meeting based on the data. Back to you.
Okay, and we've got a few more weeks to go until that July meeting. Jen Schonberger, thanks so much for that.